My name is Alexander Hesketh. I work in London and I'm the sponsor and constructor of the Hesketh 308 Grand Prix car that I hope will one day win the World Championship.
An environment in Formula One is very important, and I think Hesketh and James, it was just the perfect match, the perfect fit. And I think their way of going racing was fun. James is already known as the party playboy.
Just a minute, I haven't done my hair yet. I'm not ready to go on the telly. Can you give me a cigarette? Can I grab that cigarette off you? Thanks.
Lord Hesketh himself was someone, he did things extreme. It was off the cuff that, well, let's go and do Formula One. James, you up for that? Yeah.
An aeroplane landed on the racetrack because the runway is the racetrack, right? So got some local hero in his Cherokee going. All clear, friendly airfield in sight.
I think Grand Prix racing in the 70s was as competitive as it always has been. I think there was a lot of teams that could go, you could go and build your own car with 20 people, and then you'd get a Ford Cosworth engine, a competitive engine, and stick it in, you had a chance. So it was still possible for a privateer and Hesketh to come in and you know, have a good go.
I got an outrageous demand.
Oh yeah, what's that?
The last line of which was "cough up now."
Oh. Yeah, well done, thanks very much. Well, you've put the text in the post, is it?
James's strength, I think, as a driver, I think he definitely had a way of going about his racing, which was he didn't really care less what anybody said about him. He went out, partied very, very hard, got into the car on a Sunday, and was able to do the job.
We need 15-inch wheels. They're very floaty. I can feel too much movement in them. I can feel it. The car's all funny when you go into a corner. They lean over a lot on you.
James's strengths were he obviously had great speed and skill and flair. You read that he used to physically throw up before races. He was so nervous.
You see, the problem is you can't overtake anybody here. And Nicky, you know, with the Ferrari, with the extra power and everything, said he spent some of the final session trying to overtake back markers, you know, slow guys couldn't do it. So, what chance have you?
Today's race is the most important that we as a team have ever done. And it's also a Grand Prix where we are in with a chance, subject to the weather remaining fine and the car having no mechanical problems.
Hunt could smell his first Grand Prix win, and he was not going to give it up to anyone. As he took the flag, Hunt's joy was obvious, as was that of his team. Lord Hesketh never made any secret of the fact that he was in racing for fun, and one thing was certain, plenty of champagne would flow in the team hotel that night. But you got the impression that the smiles of Lauda and Regazzoni were as much for the popular young British driver as they were for their own success.
Sure, it was an underdog story because Lord Hesketh was only the crazy one with the money, with all the funny stickers he put on James. So they were really an incredible couple at the time. Everybody was laughing at them and they enjoyed themselves very much. But when they got competitive, then some people stopped to laugh because James proved very well with him what he can do.
Whatever sport you're in, and particularly motorsport, the first points, the first podium, the first win, the first championship, whatever your discipline, is a glass ceiling that you've broken through and you just move on to the next target.
I think emotionally the first race is more about having passed the threshold, to just simply have put something in the bag. You know, you can never count on what you've done in the past for the future, but at least the record will show that you've won a Grand Prix. Now you can move on to the next stage.
I think the first win for Hesketh and James in Zandvoort in Holland was just awesome. I was very young, but I do remember it because it was something that no one was expecting. I think the race that James put together against the might of Ferrari was absolutely inspiring because his fight and determination, never give up mentality put him in that position to actually, you know, win that first race. And I think it was just an absolutely brilliant race weekend for James and for Lord Hesketh himself.
I was at Brands Hatch when Hunt had his accident, and the crowd went wild because they weren't going to allow him to restart. And suddenly they realised they're going to have to let James Hunt take the restart, otherwise it's going to be a riot.
Things was going very much for the British driver in Brands Hatch.